Welcome back. We've got another episode. This one's a quick one. This one's a more informative. This one actually has a different person here with us. Instead of Neil this time around, we've got Matt. Neil wasn't available today, and Peakmonsters just just released over 25 different new features, and we're going to go through them quickly. So this will be, we have a different co-host, and it will be a much shorter episode. So hello, Matt. Thanks for joining.
Hello, Jarvie. Thanks for having me, mate. Thank you for having me, mate.
Yeah. So we're going to get right into it. First impressions, I'm going to start and share my screen. So if you talk about different things, people will see the screen. But what are your first impressions? It basically went live like 30, 40 minutes ago, an hour ago.
Well, I went straight to the unlisting of cards in the rental market. That was my sort of big item on the wish list that I've been looking for a while. So pretty impressed with that. Pretty happy with the way that's worked. There's already a couple that have been real bugbears for me that I've sort of already gone in and unlisted them. So when that current contract ends, I'm not breaking anything. I'm just not listing it again. So yeah, happy with that one.
Yes. So we'll go through that feature and show people where that is specifically. But that was kind of your like, oh yes, finally moment.
That was my big one. The bulk buys as well, and also the combining to a separate to a specific limit, I think is really good too.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll get there.
All right, so let's go. I have a post that I'm going to be doing soon, and then we'll have this video kind of as a companion to that post, I suppose, which will come out a little bit afterwards. And we're going to walk through, but first we kind of show off what we did in the previous, like a week or so ago. The front page looks a little bit different. We have the blog here. So if you even just go to this video, you'll see like updates here. Let's go, and previously we did this effective cost per pack. So it's kind of like an estimated. I think it's probably more accurate to say, well, this is estimated right here. So this is your effective cost per pack, how much it would cost you. And when you're logged in, you can see the discounts that you get. So for example, if you did 500 packs, for me, it would cost basically $1.70 because that I'm saving the 4 cents buying it on Peakmonsters because of my profit sharing incentive. And then we get the estimated value per pack. And then we talked about in a previous episode, which I know is pretty long, the fact that if you put in potions, which can cost anywhere from 35 to 45 cents per pack, that when you add in basically $1.70 plus, for me, it's 39 cents, and that's $2.09 when I put both potions in. So it's actually looking pretty good statistically that I come out on top, but really potions is a big part of that. So those were some of the things that we did last time around. So
I was going to say it's the upside to being in a high ranking guild too, is that can change your profitability on those, because some of these discounts on the potions can really make a big difference to that. So it's good to quantify it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I guess that's a plug for the guilds out there. Go get one. There's still a few of our all guilds for Peakmonsters. If you're a user of Peakmonsters, which we classify those that use the market, not just, go check out values. So let's go through and let's start with the biggest change, the biggest thing, in my opinion, that we did, because a lot of the other changes really revolve around one big central tool that we made. So we have collection here. Now you can click on this down arrow, and go to what we call bulk view, which is a totally different way of looking at your cards. Now this isn't the pretty way to look at your cards. This isn't the like, oh, I just want to like peruse my stuff and feel good about what I have. This is like the worker's view. This is like you go in here with a specific purpose in mind. You want to do X thing, this is where you come. This is where, especially for power users that have, it says I have 6,700 cards in this account, and I can like, what is it do I want to do? And this is where we're gonna talk about some of the filters that we created. So each one of these filters that we added is basically a new feature for the site, and it's really good on bulk view. Now, one of the amazing things for bulk view is that all of the cards are combined, so you can do a shift click and all of them will go somewhere. So you don't have to open, for example, when you were in collections, in the regular collections, you would have to open each of these cards and then select these, shift click, and then select these, shift click, that sort of thing. So now in bulk view, you can just click them all. Another thing that we did is we did some transaction limit changes. So you can now transfer or move from one count to another up to 400 cards at a time, which is really nice when you're in bulk view. So just that aspect alone. But narrowing it down to the exact cards that you're interested in is going to be really nice with these new features. So we have, let's say you're wanting to list some cards. Well, then you don't want to see those cards that are already on the market. So then you click no. I can perhaps make the screen a little bit bigger for our viewers at home. So you go down here to no on market. So now nothing that's on the market will show up. And you don't want to list cards that are delegated out to someone else. So I'm going to hit no on that as well. And then I'm going to go in, and here's another filter, is the level filter. So I'm going to click 1. So now I'm only going to see those that are level 1. And so now I've already got it down to 5,900 cards, which is still quite a few. But I could see just my epic cards and then just my untamed. So now there's only 3. So actually what I tend to do is I buy my cards with this. We'll give an example. This, what we're going to do is just look at our untamed cards. I buy cards with this account, and then I move them to the account that I'm actually playing with. So I'm going to grab, so now with just those quick filters, I've grabbed all the cards I want except for these chain golems I'm not moving over there. And now I can move them all really quickly into my new account. Now, here's the other thing that we did is we changed the account checker to make sure that 1, this is a Steam account, and 2, this is an account that uses Splinterlands. So if I put fun, it will say player fun is not found on Splinterlands, right? So it will help you, are you sure, sort of thing. It is a valid Steam account. Now, Funt, if you did that, so let's go to Fun Tamed. And then it says, yes, that's fine. So I'm going to move them all to this account that I play with called Fun Tamed. So
that's the what's it called? The starter pack. If that account's had the starter pack done in the past.
Yeah.
To authorize play. Okay. Because I moved some stuff to my daughter Evelyn Clarke, that account, and she doesn't actually have the starter pack, but I've sort of been using it as a holding space. So I'm guessing I would have to then move them on. I'd need to do that at splinterlands.io now. Is that right? There's no override?
I'm not sure I understand the question completely. So I just moved it to one of my accounts that has a starter pack because I'm playing with that account.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how many people this would be relevant to, but I use Evelyn Clarke as a holding account.
Yes.
And she doesn't have any starter pack, so I wouldn't be able to send anything to her from this.
Yeah, you would. It would just give you this are you sure you want to send it, because they're not plans.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so it can be overridden.
So let's see here. Chain Golem. How do you spell the account name?
Evelyn Clarke, just EVELYN, and then Clarke with an E.
It seems to say that it's maybe just looking to see if it has cards in the account.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, there's plenty of cards in there, so that
Yeah.
might be what it's doing.
Yeah. So it still seems like it's like, hey,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Figured that one out.
Hey.
So the bulk system has lots of things. So you're a renter. So we go in and we look, let's undo the untamed filter. Let's undo the level filter. And then let's look to see those that are delegated. So here's all the ones that are delegated, which means I'm usually delegating to accounts that are renting, right? They're renting, I delegate to them. So you can also sort this. Some of these columns are sortable. So the delegation one is sortable. So you can see all the people that you're delegating to. So some of these I'm delegating to accounts that I own. And therefore the rental information is not there, of course. So there you go. But you can go in and review all of your rentals, right? Right from this screen, which is another
This is great. I'm just going
way
to live
to
in this.
review.
I'm just going to live in this screen. I had no idea.
So one of the other things is if you want to see which cards you use the most, you could go to view just by cooldown. So let's go to that Fun Tamed account that I have. So I'm just showing people, this is the biggest thing that we did. The other of the 25 different things that we did will be a much shorter conversation. So we can show here that the value of our cards in this account is listed, it's 1,400, and market prices, it's 1,100. But let's see the value of just the cards that I am playing. So I use this card to test out the new Fun Tamed cards. It's only it's only the untamed cards. So now I'm seeing that the value is 1,100 and 800 of just the cards that I'm using, which is kind of fun. So you'll see none of the level 1 cards are showing up. So it's just the cards that I'm using. And obviously I've earned some reward cards and now I'm using those too.
Yeah. So that would be a quick way for you to work out what would be a rental stock that you could then say, well,
Yeah.
the cards that didn't come up, I can put them on the market because I'm not using them. It's not going to affect my gameplay because I haven't used
Yeah.
any of these. Yeah, that's great.
So you can go into here, into cooldown, no, and see all of the cards that you aren't using, and you could decide to sell them all if you wanted. So now I'm not logged into this account, but I'm going to go back to my main account and show you what you could do. And we're going to stay in bulk view for some of this because it's awesome. Let's go back to my main account that I'm logged into, Jarvie. So I think there's going to be a lot of people that talk about different strategies of doing work using the bulk view, and we welcome any posts that people or videos that people do showing how they now do the transaction that used to take them hours in like a minute. You know, they transfer the whole account super fast. Now they have a 400 limit for transfer. They can do that really fast. But what I wanted to show is, so we'll go to, we're going to go to the cards that aren't on the market, and we're going to look at just common cards. And let's break it down. I just want to look at the reward cards, okay? So now we have, over here it says 1,509 cards. Let's break it down and just show level 1 cards. Okay, still a lot of cards. What we're going to do is grab a lot of these. A lot of these. I've grabbed 293. I guess that's not a crazy amount. Now what do I want to do is sell. Well, the transaction limit on selling used to be it still is 100. You can sell 100 at a time. You can list 100 at a time. Well, we now have it available even up to 293, as you can see. So we're going to go into sell. So that's a different feature. Now you can do more. But you can set the price. But I grabbed several different types of cards. So I don't know that there's a specific price. We now have this feature called relative price. So the prices will be relative to the last time you refresh the page, just so you know. So maybe I want to go back in here real fast and hit this little refresh button so that it's using the most recent prices. Still has the 293 selected. So I'm going to go back here and say, I want to sell these cards at 1% higher or lower than whatever the listed price is on the market. So let's say, actually, I want to sell these at 10% higher than whatever's listed on the market, which means they're not going to get sold anytime soon, but eventually, so someone could like buy a bunch of cards, immediately list them for 10% higher than what they bought them for. And then eventually they'll get sold and they know that, hey, they just made 10% eventually, you know? So let's go to review, because there's another feature in there. So you want to go through the prices, make sure they look pretty decent. You know, it's your job to kind of double check. You could open up another screen to double check these things to make sure the price is a little bit higher. But here, listed really small down below, is one amazing new feature. We're going to queue these transactions for you. So right now, the only transaction that we are queuing is listing cards for sale. But you can hit the confirm, and then keychain, I use keychain on the computer, will come up 3 different times. It will list the first 100, and once it's done in like 3 seconds, it will list the next one, and then do it again 3 times. I believe I can select up to 1,000 cards. So not even, so that will do 10 different transactions. So you could.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so you could literally buy a 500 pack, which will come up with 287 cards, put it in, move them all to a new account, because you want to buy it in the account that has the most rebate, you know? So, and you buy the account that you have all the potions in, of course, because potions aren't transferable. So you get your 2,875 cards, and then you can move them to another account where you can do, fun sales sort of things with them.
Yeah, and individually, case by case, list them based on their current market rate, above or below 7%. That's fantastic, and that's, I guess, the same way that SteamPeak has the queuing system for, say, upvotes, comments, that type of thing. Where if you've got too many, then they queue them up, and then they automatically go through. Which is, I find that's great, because I'll just upvote, yes, comment quickly, upvote, and then instead of getting it all clogged up and getting the error message, it's all just queued up there for you. Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some of the things that you can do with. There's obviously 5 different filters. The cooldown, market, delegated, owned, just different ways to just getting down to the nitty gritty of which cards do you actually want to work on, okay? And then we have market cap. So, and you can feel very comfortable with this market cap because you kind of know exactly how it's working, right? So if we unclick, so there's no filters on anything, then the market cap will be representative of every card that is in Splinterlands, every card. So the actual market cap based on listed, which isn't what other sites would use. They wouldn't use listed. That's not the most accurate thing to use. But it's what, people tend to share a lot because it's the higher number. But $5.3 million worth of cards based on listed. Based on bids, it's 3.57. And based on market prices, it's 4.4 million. So now a quick word about market prices. For those listening to this video right away, there was an error on Untamed on the BCX. So we had that slightly off for the last week, but it wasn't a big error, so we didn't correct it right away. But I'm just saying that now with it on the main page, every sale is going to adjust that market price a little bit better for Untamed. So if we go to just the market cap of Untamed cards, so the majority of this price is fine because it reflects alpha, beta, promo, and rewards. But the market price of Untamed, you're going to see this 311,000 probably go up a little bit, is what we found. As more and more cards get purchased, the market values that are these numbers right here are going to start to adjust a little bit better. So they're probably already adjusting on the commons and rares and maybe even epics. Legendaries, maybe in a day, it's going to be more well adjusted. And then the gold cards is probably going to take a little bit because they don't have as much volume. I just wanted to give that caveat that to give it a few days or a week or so to really start trusting the market prices on Untamed cards. So there you go. But market cap, what do you think about that, Matt?
Well, when you first went there, for some reason, I thought you were still in yours, and I thought, is that 5 million? That's maybe it's Gringotts, Gringotts account, but yeah.
Not
No,
on my collection or
no,
both of you. We're on the market. So
not yet. Give it 6 months.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, it all looks fantastic. I did notice a lot of the Untamed cards, the green up arrows were much higher percentages. You know, you're seeing 100%, 100%, 84,
Yeah.
140%, whereas the red ones tend to be a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So I figured that was.
So you're still going to see these numbers kind of be weird for a few days because of the adjustments to how we're tracking it now in the BCX.
I've only bought the Vigilator. That's the only Untamed card that I've jumped in on. So I'm trying to get him up to level 3 to get the poison.
Yeah.
That's the one. Because he does melee and ranged, and he's got double strike, so he hits up to 4 times in a turn, which is
and
pretty,
2 or 3 different types of game things. The Vigilator is pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's you got to use him right, but especially with Arius, because I was lucky enough to pull an Archmage, so I've sort of got the extra one to melee and the extra one to range make a huge difference. So
good point.
Yeah. So
I have
that's
yet
where
to
all my
use him
money's
with
been going.
Archmage because I'm only playing an account that only has Untamed cards. So
yes, I think you're doing like an experiment just to see how it goes, see how they compare.
Yeah, exactly. So all right, so market cap is one big thing. I'm sure that's pretty fun for people. We don't have like a chart that's charting it, so anyone can come in here and every day come in and find the price, or every hour and chart it if they want, and do posts with that sort of information if they want. But so let's go to another fun thing. So in buy packs, we only used to have these values based on listed. But now, and that made sense over here, because if you're buying cards, you want to know what it would cost compared to what it would cost you to buy them on the market, So if this number gets way lower, then you buy them on the market. If this number gets way higher, then you buy the packs, that sort of thing. But we also now give you the option to view based on market price. Now, of course, this is all Untamed cards, are the only cards you can really buy on the market. And these prices that it's going to show are going to be very low because of the, it's populating with the new values for market values. So don't mind that. In our testing site, this had started to go way up compared to right now, It's always going to be lower than the listed value. So
yeah, but the listed stuff is what you could get for it right now if you're just going to do a straight up turnaround, buy the cards, and assuming you get sort of average cards.
Yeah. So what I'm going to show is what happens when you buy cards on Peakmonsters. So I'm going to grab 6 packs. This is the different values. I did 6 because I have 12. Because of another feature over here. If you look in this top corner, we're showing you how much DEC is in the Splinterlands account. So basically, if you were on Splinterlands right here, I have 12,803. Well, now we are showing you that there's 12,802. So, because we cut it off, we truncate that amount, and Splinterlands rounds up. There's not actually, so there's actually 12,802.59. So, any case, yeah. So I actually have about 1 million DEC in my own account, but in Splinterland's account, I have 12,000. So in your in-game account, I guess you could call that. So I'm going to buy 6 of these and show you why we made it a little bit more valuable to buy from Peakmonsters. Not only am I getting at a slightly discounted rate because I have the profit. Well, the profit sharing isn't there yet on DEC. That's the disclaimer. So just so people know, we're looking at it, but it was going to be a much bigger, longer. It's going to take a lot more time to build that in because of the way things happened with DEC, because it's not actually money in your own account. It's money in Splinterland's account. Anyway.
That 5% affiliate payment would only be with outside money. That's not if one of your affiliates buys with deck either, is it?
Yeah, the affiliate will work. The affiliate totally works.
Oh, even with deck?
Yeah, even with deck, affiliate works.
Wow.
I've tested it. Yeah, affiliate works just fine.
Good to know.
So I just did this specific example with DEC this time around. And yes, the airdrops work as well with any of these 3 options, Steam, SPD, or DEC. The airdrops are still going to count because you're actually buying directly from Peakmonsters. So, anyways, we're going to go to Splinterlands. We're going to open those 6 real fast, and we're going to show you after opening these 6. Now, here's another statement. It's like, well, you have 7 in there. That means you had a token before. So does this really count if these next 6, Yes, it counts because untamed packs are fungible tokens, which means they're not unique. It's just tokens. So it's like if you got a penny or $1, everyone is like each other. So the next 6 are the ones that we're counting for this feature that I'm about to show you. So there's no way to know the 6 that you just got from buying from Peakmonsters because they're all the same. Every token is similar to each other. Anyways, we're going to open 6. And this is always fun for people to watch which 6 cards you got.
And this is when the cards are actually discerned is right now, isn't it?
So the cards are discerned right now. So they just happened.
There we go.
All right. So one of those packs is going to be pretty awesome because we got one of the highest value Cornelius, right? A couple other good cards. 3 Chimera Princess, which are really good, really high value. So we're going to close that. We're going to go back to Peakmonsters. Now, what's going to happen here, if we go to your profile, is it's going to show up now, even with DEC. That's why I did it with DEC, because pack purchases with DEC didn't used to show up. So that's a new thing. And now over here, value is going to be there. Now, however, I must say that we check the value of your actual packs, but every 5 minutes we do this. So we may have to wait a few minutes. So we don't do it. So if we click value right now, it's not available. Yeah. We're going to come back in a few minutes, but it's going to look at every separate one of these packs. So if we go back to something that I did 2 hours ago, we can look at the pack values of this. One of the packs was worth $3.48. The other pack was worth 63 cents. So that's how it goes sometimes. And then to total it up, $4.11. It means that I came up above even on 2 packs. It's very risky if you're just looking at 2 packs. When you open 200 packs at a time, that's when you're really, statistically more certain to have a pretty good rate. So
I think that Cornelius is probably gonna sit us nice and pretty with the average.
Yeah. So we'll come back in a little bit. what's next? We have, if for those that use the bid system a lot, which is getting more and more popular, you can go to your profile now, and you can go to your bids, and you can see that there's a remove all. So you can just remove all your bids all at once. So I do lots of bids. Now this is good for someone that's like, crap, I'm renting cards and I'm about to run out of peak credit. And I don't want a bid to happen because then I'm gonna have less peak credit. So remove all. Or this is someone that's like, I don't know what I'm doing with my bids. I wanna start all over. Remove them all and then go back into the market and add some more bids. So there you go. That little remove all button was a popular request. Let's show another one real fast. We're going to go to my collection, and let's go to the rewards. And this you do need to do in my collection as opposed to bulk view. So we're going to go to mushroom sear, and we're going to hit combine. There's two new things. First of all, we put it into 2 columns, which should be really nice for people. So you can select all these. Boom, 2 columns makes it so you have less scrolling, exactly half the amount of scrolling. So actually, let's do this again. We're gonna go back to combine. There's a new thing up here, select cards to combine and choose a level. So now you can say, well, I want a level, well, this is already a level 7. So let's make it a level 8. There you go.
Oh, mate.
And it will automatically select.
That's fantastic. I've just
exactly the amount of cards you need.
I've just gone through and grabbed a whole lot of goblin mechs. I thought they're a bit cheap, and the unlimited mana matches. Let's do that, especially with stun. So I've gone through and grabbed a whole lot of those, and I'm thinking, well, I'll get them up to level 6, and then I'll just put them out on the rental market. So that's 52 cards. By the time you've done that 10 times, it's you even with shift click, that's a pain. I found too, scrolling down and trying to estimate how far down you've scrolled. It's a real pain. Sometimes I've gone 30, and sometimes I've gone 90. So that's brilliant. That's great. I wish I'd have held off until today.
Yeah, it's going to save a lot of people a lot of time.
Yeah.
So if we go here to just another example of one that doesn't have an actual leveled up card. So if we go to combine, you could go, well, here's 2, here's 3, here's to get it to level 4, here's to get it to level 5, level 6. And then if you go to level 7, it's just going to select them all. But it will tell you right here that you're going to get it to level 6, and it will be this far towards level 7. So pretty darn nice.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. That's going to be popular.
Okay, so let's go back to profile. In the meantime, my bid bought something. Let's see what it got. I'm always interested. So bought a bunch of crystal werewolves. Anyways, we hit value and now it's available. So obviously that one pack was worth $10. Some of them were worth even down to 20 cents, 30 cents. One was $2, one was $1.70, one was 53 cents. In total, my 6 packs were worth just about $15, So
the expected, but not huge.
The expected value, now if you went to buy packs, the expected value of 6 packs with both potions, because I did have potions, would be $12 and like 70 cents, So, but on only 6 packs, that's not really statistically a good average. You need to buy like 200 packs to get that statistical. So I was pretty lucky. Good job for me. So, and I didn't even get any golds in that. So let's keep on going. Any other thoughts on what we've shared so far? Any?
No, I'm learning a lot as we're going through, and I just the utility of all this is just fantastic, and I love the way you're focusing on utility. Asgarth is an absolute champion.
Yeah.
But the way we're focusing on utility, the Splinterlands site is very much here's the big pretty picture, and here's the whereas this is okay, I'm going to go to the bulk view and I'm going to get stuff done. I'm going to drill down. I'm going to, here's the things I want to do, and it's all very
Yeah.
utilitarian for people who really want to approach this as a business rather than a hobby. So yeah, I just plan on. I mean, I already live on Peakmonsters, but you can expect that to continue.
The other, thank you for that. And yes, our programmer Asgarth is amazing. I agree. I wanted to show that we will track at the opening time and current prices. So because of the change in market values that I was talking about, this is going to probably change quite a bit for me. So now the cards, when I open them, which was like 2 hours ago, this is the value, and now it's already gone up to 0.74, so it's cool. We wanted to make it really a lot better to buy packs on Peakmonsters. We also wanted to make it a lot better to list cards, a lot faster to list a lot of cards, to buy packs, to buy 500 packs. I said, hey, what's the benefit of buying? I may buy 500 packs later today or something to that effect, and then open a ton of them and list them, because no one's doing that, like buy and immediately list. So I was like, I want to do an experiment, buy 500 packs, which would be 575, put them into an account, and then relist them all, and then just kind of recycle that money, maybe. But there's no way I'm going to list 2,875 cards. And because of that, that's why bulk view was born. And then we added, it just happens to have all this other functionality for everything else. So.
But the tools are there, right? And then they're going to get used in unexpected ways. So say, for example, death. I've just written off death. My Zinta Mortalis is level 2 or something. I don't deal with death cards.
Yeah.
If I was to go through and say, well, look, I just want to buy a whole ton of packs, but I don't want to immediately sell the death cards. Well, you've taken that from being a 3-hour exercise to being a 10-minute exercise.
Or less than 10 minutes, I hope.
Yeah. I'm a slow learner.
Yeah, first time. I gotcha. Okay, but you do a lot of rentals, so we'll get to that thing that you kind of alluded to earlier. Where tell them what happened with one of your cards, I guess.
Well, you do a lot of stuff and you have ideas, and then you go in other directions. I had just an alpha Angel of Light level 1, and I listed her, I forgot, for 1 cent a day for up to 3 months, up to 90 days. And as time went by, I sort of thought, well, these alphas I think are going to go up. I need to make sure that I've got at least one maxed and so I bought the other, I think it's 7 all up, and got her up to max. But I forgot that I still had her listed for 1 cent a day, and of course somebody's jumped on it and locked her down for a very long period of time. So not sure if he's beaten me with her. I've been beaten by a lot of my own cards in the past, which is humbling.
Yes.
At least they're getting benefit. My customers are getting a benefit. I'm okay with that. But I keep looking at that card and thinking, as soon as that contract expires, if he's switched on, he's going to be smarter than me, because he might only be watching that one, and he's going to jump straight back on for another 3 months. And I don't want to break the contract. I don't want to be that guy. But by the same token, so what we're rolling out here, I think, is fantastic.
So we're showing your card right now. You are definitely the lowest value.
There it is. That's the one. It says 60
rented
days.
For 1. And I don't know if people know this, but if you hover over this ROI, it tells you exactly that it's 1 cent with 0 escrow.
No escrow. It was very.
Lose nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't think the guy even probably will be too upset, because he knows he's getting a good deal.
Yeah, he's not going to break that.
But what you've already done over here, I see you found the tool, and you've already done this. This card will be enlisted. I'll tell him to change it to unlisted at the end of current contract. So we can expect probably to see a few more of these 1%ers. So Jar and Nick will probably start using this, and like, nope, I'm not going to list this card for 1.4 cents a day anymore. And that's something I got to do later today too, is unlist a few of the ones. I'll keep them going to the end of the contract. but I am going to increase their ROI from more than 1%. So
Well, I mean, you look at some of these contracts here, 180 days. I know Neil does a lot at 180 days. If you miss that, and then you've already set the maximum at 180 days, and you miss that
yeah,
minute, and the guy's got a sweet deal, and the prices have gone up, and he's
for
looking at it,
180
oh,
days.
I've got to lock that down. Then he can just bam, and
Yeah,
straight away, there you've lost a card for a year, unless of course you want to break it
yeah,
and where the. And I don't know if anything at any point is going to start tracking reputation. How reliable is this person in meeting their
yeah,
contracts, and whether we could even go deeper and say, well, I'm only going to rent to people with this
yeah.
this caliber of reputation, like eBay, or I'm only going to rent from people with that level of reputation. But in case that ever happens, I want to be the guy who's never broken a contract.
Ah, I gotcha.
It's just
Yeah,
one of
I
those
don't
things.
think that's happening anytime soon because that's a whole heck of a lot of work.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, and the escrow is kind of helping with that. So,
Mm.
a renter should want one that has a little bit of escrow into it, because then they know, like, this owner's not going to break it, because
Yeah.
then he'll lose out. And if he does break it, all the better for me, because then I make free money. Anyway, you can see it goes all the way up to 3.7%. 3.9% is the best one. 5 cents a day. So your 1 cent a day is looking a little harsh.
Yeah.
Mine's at around at 2.4 cents a day. So I'm kind of middle of the road,
Yeah.
but locked in for probably a long period of time. So yeah, I think maybe now with this feature, I may start doing shorter contract lengths too. And there's one huge upgrade that can be done, not by us, but by Splinterlands, that will make things so much better. And then I'd probably go down to 30 a day once Splinterlands, or 30-day periods, or 30 to 60. Because if Splinterlands makes the upgrade to cooldown so that the same person can go back in and get the card that they were just renting again and just continue to do it.
As
But
long as
that
the owner
feature,
hasn't played that in a battle since it came off,
yeah.
which it'd still be in cooldown anyway, wouldn't it? So the owner couldn't play it for a week.
So, I mean, Splinterlands has said that, that they'll look into that. So let's hope that they do that, and that will make rentals just so much better. In any case,
Agreed.
let's go into collection and try renting out a card and see what changes just happened. Actually, I'm going to go to bulk view, and I want to find a card real fast and get people to see these. I'm going to go to my legendaries. And I'm going to go to those that aren't being delegated. So let's see here. And then I'm going to sort by top BCX. So I have a Selenia Sky here, level 2. I have 294 cards selected. Let's remove them all and then just pick this one. And then go to rent. And there's something new happening down here. Price discovery tools. So you can see the Selenia Sky level 2 compared to others Selenia Sky level 2s that are in the market. Now there's only 2 that are actually in the rental market, and here's their values. Someone's trying to rent it out for 6 cents a day, and someone's trying to rent it out for 25 cents a day. That's crazy. And then there's no others, so we're just going to show you a level 3 and how much it's going for. The lowest value rental cards, okay? The lowest value rental cards available. So you can kind of see that this level 3 is going for about 2.3% or 6 cents a day. So I feel like maybe somewhere around 3 cents a day, this price discovery tool. Now you could always still do the open up a separate screen sort of thing that people are used to. Now over here on the actually rented, you can see that no one's actually ever rented at a level 2. Maybe because there's only 2 available in the market and they're not really the best value, So maybe now I could put this one into the market. So, because then I'd be the only really good one available. And we're going to go, I used to do 180 days, but I'm going down to that. So at 2.4%, this price discovery tools makes me feel like, okay, this is pretty good. There's none available, right? But we're going to show you that there's some available, but there's none that actually ever been rented. But we're going to show you some of the other ones, So let's go over here. Yeah, okay, I feel good about this price. And then I can confirm. Boom. This would
That's
probably
great.
work a lot better on my, if I were to log out of this and go into Jarvie Rentals. This is where I do most of all my full level rentals, So let's give them another example of a full level card. And we're going to go to those that aren't delegated. So here's all of my legendaries that aren't presently being rented out right now. Okay. Some of them I'm just trying to sell. But let's go especially to this lowest. It's only doing sorting by list price. It's not sorting the rental price, so that didn't really help. But I'm going to go to my Elemental Phoenix because we know that the prices of Elemental Phoenix have gone up like crazy recently. So I'm going to grab this one that I'm trying to rent out for $157. And let's see perhaps what I should be renting it at.
It's about right.
157. It shows that I am the lowest one in the whole market. And the next one up next to me is 175. So if I wanted, I could go like cozy up to next to this guy. Again, you can hover over this and it will tell you that they're doing 8 cents a day with a 50-cent escrow. So I can do like 7.8 cents a day with a 50-cent escrow, and boom. Oh, well, they're also doing a much longer period of time on
I
the max
wonder,
duration.
doesn't that look like, it looks like the rented ones are actually more expensive, 245,
So
220.
yeah, the rented ones, this will show you the highest rented that have ever been rented, in case you were wondering.
So that's not
Market
current though.
is willing
That's
to
not,
go up to 10 cents a day, it looks like.
so, but is that current? Like how many are those 3 currently rented, or are they
Yes,
historically
these are
rented?
3 that are currently rented. Now, there's 20 of them being currently rented, so it's not showing
Okay,
the lowest.
right.
It's just showing the 3 highest. So I could go way higher, but I'm also looking at, so you could look at this together. You could say, okay, maybe this one is an outlier, and this is all getting way too far probably into a rental strategy, but I know this is interesting to you.
For
So
sure.
maybe you just say, okay, someone else is going to rent this one card, but then I'll be the next one. And maybe I'll just try to have something lower than this guy at 9 cents and 70. So maybe I'll do 8.2 and 50. And so then this guy will be the lowest, but then I'll be the next lowest. And I'll be making 1 cent a day more, even a little bit more than 1 cent a day than the other one. And over here
Especially
is
with that
telling me
volume.
that the market is probably willing to take on my 1.82,
Yeah, and with that volume that's there, 20 cards currently rented
Mm-hmm.
at that level. That's that tells you that one of those is going to expire soon.
Yeah,
Rather than wearing the cooldown, he's going to just be looking for another,
yeah.
another similar price.
And there we go. I've set that up to be rented. Another fun thing here while we're at it is let's not just look at legendaries. Let's look at those that are in cooldown and not delegated. Yeah. So super quickly, you have all the cards that are not presently being rented out, but were probably rented out recently because they're still in cooldown. So then I want to go in, and the Serpentine Soldier, that's 0.75. I want to go in here and maybe see what I could really get for it. So the next lowest one is 119. So it's not showing cooldown ones. If there are not cooldown ones, it won't show, it will default to show the 3 that aren't in cooldown. So
yeah.
Obviously mine is available for 0.75, but it's in cooldown, so it's not being the first one to be displayed. So I don't want to do 0.75, so I'm going to look at 119, 2 and 50 cents. So I'm going to go 1.8 and 50 cents. And then I've quickly, I've seen that the market will go all the way up to 119. Actually, if the market is there's only one card that's rented at 119, that means that there's an unlikelihood that maybe I should do that at that price. So I'm going to go down a bit again. Let's do 116 and less on the escrow. There we go. It's not high on return on investment per month, but we all know that these prices of these cards went way up. So I bought this. So that's return on right now. When I bought the card, obviously it's way more than 1%. So.
Yeah, and that's why I look at something like the flash columns that I've got a ton of.
Yeah.
I've driven the price right up. Now
Yeah.
that means when it comes to renting them out to people, their playability, they're a great card, but still their playability isn't reflected at all in their price because I've artificially inflated it on top of that. So I sort of can't go seeking that same sort of 1% or 2% that you get for other cards. I've sort of got to go, well, let's scale down the expectations a bit there. I think that means rather than, typically you'd just go, well, look, let's just look out for, let's just say I want 1.6% on every card that I rent. That'll be easier. But the way that we've got it set up now, where we can choose your percentage above and below, that's with the sales, isn't it?
Yeah, that's with the sales. Yeah.
Yeah. But with the rental preview here that we've got now, the sales discovery, the rental discovery, that means I can pick flesh columns and see what are other flesh columns renting for, because that's what the market's saying. It's ultimately the purchase price doesn't matter to a renter.
And these are quick tools. Obviously, still, if you were to go into the actual, have a separate screen open, you could do a lot more research. So,
but that's great there.
Every card really has a different market for it, so it's really hard to have a set price on each one. It's just so hard.
And it changes as the
meta changes. I want to just have 3% on everything. I'm like, well, every card is so different right now.
Yeah.
Every card has their own market. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if that would be even a good tool for us to create, to be honest.
Well, like I say, with the flesh columns, I had them at sort of 10 cents, and they were pretty much all rented out at that. And then I thought, well, just to keep them available on the market for people who really want them, I'll put them up, and I put them all up to 15 cents. And then all the healed out rule sets came through, and the meta changed, and people weren't grabbing them as much. And then I ended up with sort of high vacancy rates. So I've gone back to 10 cents now. And like you say, every card is its own market.
I'm going to show another quick feature real fast. This one's pretty self-explanatory. What we do now, one of the most common requests, I'm going to an account that doesn't have any money in the Steam wallet. And it's going to check the Steam wallet and say that you need at least 0.001 Steam in your Steam wallet to trigger this withdrawal operation. I swear that was most of the tech support that we did. Why can't I withdraw? Oh, because you need 0.001 in your actual Steam wallet. Oh, well, I've got 5 Steam in my Peak credits, but I don't have anything in my Steam wallet. Okay, so that was a quick feature that we did. We also merged, just another side note, no one watching this probably cares too much, but we had a Korean market, and we had a Chinese one. Everything's all merged together now as of this release. We did the Korean one a month or two ago. We just added the Chinese, and what that does for us is they get all of the features now, and we don't have to pay for separate servers. So yay for us. And we don't have to pay for a separate website URL. So .cn. So I think we've covered everything. Oh, no, there's one cool one left. So you can view it in My Collections. And let's go to Untamed. So let's say Matt wants to have more than, no, it's in Market, sorry. Matt wants to have more than just one Untamed card. So he's looking at other legendaries. And my favorite one is the Magnor, Matt. So
yep.
If you wanted to have one right now, let's say you're going into a tournament, you're like, crap, I need a Magnor. Go here and go to bulk. It is now pretty amazing. We calculate that if you were to buy it right now from the market and you needed a level 3, is what you say, it would cost you $32.49. And then we would, so you click this and then add all 6 to the cart, boom, they'd all be in your cart real fast. So the limit on that is 45, so just so you know. But obviously 6 is below 45. And then it would tell you that the average value of each of those cards is going to end up being 541. So, but what's cool about this is you can do comparative analysis super fast. So this card at max is $60.75. You go over here to the Chain Golem and do this. You're like, oh, this one's only $51. Yeah, at max. How about
and then you can compare that? You compare that to the gold Chain Golem and see whether you're better off maxing the
oh yeah, I can show you something pretty awesome about that. That's when you go here and do the analysis between alpha and beta, and then you go to something like an epic card. I think I know which one. And then you can filter or sort, by Steam Monster ID so that they're next to each other. So we're going to look at the 2 Mischievous next to each other. So we're going to do buy, and we're going to hit buy on this. We're going to look at the bulk on this one. So for the alpha is $49 to max. And for the beta, it is $112 to max. So definitely buy the alpha. There's just not many betas even on the market. 49. Well, there's 26 available on the market, but the very first card on the market happens to be a max level alpha. So in any case, then you can go down and look at the golds and see what the price difference is here. $179 to max it in beta, and $364 to max it in alpha. So yeah, definitely a lot more expensive, but there are cases where the gold is less expensive. I've done the research on this, so that's going to happen more often in neutrals. So I believe a good example was like the Peaceful Giant in gold is $151 to max, okay? Now let's take it off and look at how much the regular one is to max. Well, it's 115 now. I guess prices changed. Or maybe it wasn't the Peaceful Giant. That's still pretty good. 115 compared to 150. You're like, oh, maybe I should just get the gold. I think it was the Elven Cutthroat. $344 to max regular. And let's go down here. And 367. So it's like
that's
$20
really
more to get a gold version.
You just pay the extra.
Yeah, definitely. Get the gold.
I had a look at the alpha flesh columns, obviously rolling out. Asgarth gave me a bit of a crack at the testnet, and had a look at the alpha flesh columns, and there weren't enough on there to max. It said 355.
Yeah.
Available only of 379. So you wouldn't actually be able to do it, as far as I can tell, for an alpha regular foil.
Yeah.
There you go, only 225. So there's been a bit of buying there. But the golds, I didn't check the gold. I didn't think to check the gold foils. They come down to about 10. Yeah.
Let's see here. So you can't max them either.
Can't max those.
You can get to level 9 at least. for $344.
Yeah, that's that's crazy. So it's just getting real thin.
So let's see, betas you can max out.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, that's I think all of our features.
But that's huge as far as price analysis goes, and trying to work out what you want to buy, how thin it is, and also looking at if you're looking at things to buy for your rental stable, where you say, right, I want to buy up some stuff so that I can rent it out. Well, if I can buy up some stuff just before a price really starts to spike, then I'm basically feathering my own nest, so to speak, because I'm going to end up with more of a card that's worth more,
Yeah.
and that I can rent out for more. So yeah, it's
Here,
brilliant.
here's one really fun thing. If you're not just for renting, we spend a lot of time on renting, but what about for sales? Let's look at this, card that's been, which card should we do on a reward card here? You pick one.
I keep going to the Sacred Unicorn.
Okay, so Sacred Unicorn, let's go look at the analysis right here. So bulk, you could get one for $347, but if you need to get 5, it goes up to $354. So if you're listing cards, then maybe you don't list for $347. Maybe you list for more around $350, because if someone wants to get a max, they're going to have to get 11 cards. So let's look at another one real fast. What has a thin amount? Pirate Archer, maybe? So right now you can see on buy, it's 11, 11.5. There's a lot of cards available for 11.5, so maybe this isn't the best option. So it's kind of funny, if you need to get a max card, it goes way down in price. So obviously we look here. How about the Phantom Soldier? So the price starts going way up fast, right? So it starts at 29 cents. So you may think, oh, I want to list them for mine for 28 cents, but then it jumps to 30, and then very quickly it jumps to 31, 32 almost. So if you look at bulk, the price valuation isn't changing too much. There's just so many rewards cards. But I'm just saying that you could go in here and have a better idea quicker of what you want to do. So let's look at beta cards. Those prices, or alpha cards, those prices vary quite a bit, much faster. So let's look at the Elemental Phoenix. $9. Trying to find a good example. Pirate Captain. So the price jumps from 8.5 to 9 to 11. That's a good example. There's only 243 on the market. So you may be tempted to list your card for lower than 8.5 cents. But if someone ever comes in and wants a max level, they're going to be spending on average 14 cents. So if you want to sell it right away, then selling it for less than 8.5 is probably good. But if you have a lot of cards and you think someone's going to come in and at least get a level 8, maybe you list it more for around 9 to 10 cents.
This is like a depth chart for
It's like a depth chart, yeah.
Yeah.
In a way. So I just wanted to show that, because we definitely we did these changes with a few things in mind. We wanted to make buying packs better on Peakmonsters. You get all the perks, plus you get Peak Monster perks. So all the Splinterland perks, plus our perks. So we added some more. We also wanted to increase the amount of cards being listed on the market. So that increased the amount of market purchases, which helps us. And then the last thing is we wanted rentals to be easier. So there's some more things that we want to do to make it easier for the people renting cards. And this time around, we made it easier for a lot of ways for those that are the owners renting out the cards. So, but we just ran out of time to do the change for the people that are actually doing the renting and playing with the cards. But that upgrade is huge. So that'll be in next month or something like that. So
Magic. Well, I'm a big fan of all these changes.
well,
Like
there
I
we
say,
go.
the utility of it, knowing what's where, and I think it's quite instinctive. You know, you click around and see what you can find, and you know, everything's laid out really well. But also that I really like that bulk view where you just say, right, I'm not interested in seeing the pretty pictures.
Hmm.
Just show me the listings.
I got
let me
work to do.
click. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks for joining. I know this was was trying to make it, but we got geeky about a few things, and we showed a bunch of examples, which I
That's
think
what we're
helped as
here
well.
for. It's 2:20 in the morning. I'm going to be very, very tired.
Yes, in 4 hours when you wake up. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, mate. Have
All
a
right.
great night.
Have a good day.